Okay, so in this question they give us x equals 8t, okay, so x in terms of t, but they don't give us y equals in terms of t, don't they? They give us instead dy dx, okay. Usually we have to work out what dy dx is, don't we? And we have x and y given in terms of t, but this time it's sort of the other way around, isn't it? We were given dy dx, but we don't know what y is in terms of t. So you've got to think here about sort of like working backwards in order to work out what y is. Now, straightforward this, isn't it? Because if you've got x in terms of t, dx dt, you can be done, and that just becomes 8, yeah, when you differentiate this with respect to t. And don't forget, of course, then we need to flip this, so dt dx will equal to 1 over 8. Flip 8 over 1 becomes 1 over 8. Now we've got dt dx. There's no way I can get dy by dt. It's just not possible because I don't know what y is in terms of t. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to what I normally do next using the chain rule. Okay, and express the chain rule. So dy dx, dy on top, so that's dy by dt, and dx on bottom, so dt by dx. Okay, well, I know dy dx is 2t plus 3t squared, so I can sort of sub that in. Dy dt is what I don't know, so I'm going to have to leave that. But I know dt dx is 1/8, okay, from there. So if you see now I've got an equation, and I can arrange this so I can work out what dy dt is equal to quite simply, because you know, I got 1/8 here, that's the same as dividing by 8. So I can take that 8 over to this side and times. So times this side by 8, so I have a bracket there. And that'll give me what dy dt is. So in other words, dy dt is equal to 16, if I multiply out there, 16t plus 24t squared. Okay. Now think about this here. I've got now dy dt. Okay. Which is what I usually find, isn't it? When we start these questions, we're given y. So then we differentiate to get dy dt. But now that I know dy dt, I need to work out y. I need to think, well, how can I get to y from here? And you just got to think we've got to reverse that process. Yeah. So when we normally have y in terms of t, we differentiate, we get dy dt. Now we're going to reverse the process. Of course, to reverse the process is integrate. So to get y from dy dt, you just need to integrate this side with respect to t. Okay, and then this is simple because when you integrate, you raise the power by 1, so it becomes squared. Divide by that new power, which is 2. 24 then, t squared, well, raise that by 1, so it becomes cubed. Divide by that new power. But don't forget then, when you integrate, you need to put in a constant there. Okay, the integrating factor. Okay, constant factor added on there. So we've got general solution, okay, for y in terms of t. So we can simplify that to be 8t squared plus 8t cubed, yeah, plus c. Now, this is a general solution, but we can actually work out a particular solution for this because they give us boundary conditions, don't they? They say in the question, given that y equals 100 when t equals 2. So we can actually use these values, because we've got a set of values that are going to be true at this particular point. In other words, y will be 100 when t is 2. We can sub it in, and it'll enable us to work out what c is. Okay, so t is 2. And we get then 100 for y. This then becomes 32. That becomes 64 plus c. And if you think about that, then that means c has to be 4, yeah? Because 32 add 64 is 96, which leaves c to be 4. So I've got c is 4. I know c is 4. I've actually now got an expression for y. So I can say, therefore, y equals to 8t squared plus 8t cubed plus 4.